Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Can everyone hear me okay? Are we too loud? Are we okay on sound? Well, I think we'll go ahead and get started. We appreciate everyone coming out. My name is Stephen Eibendahl. I'm working with the city, helping them in the development of the comprehensive plan. Who's been here before to an HOA symposium? Raise your hands. Quite a few folks. So if you've been to one-to-one in the past, this year will be a little bit different format. I know in the past the city has had some guest speakers kind of presenting information on different topics. This year it's a little bit different. As the city's updating its comprehensive plan, the city wanted to use this session as a chance, a little bit of a listening session. Very early in the comprehensive plan process. It's something the city updates every 5 years or so. And part of that then is getting community input. So this is a great chance in the early stages of this effort to get input from HOA leaders, from you're all leaders in your neighborhoods. So it's a chance for us as a planning team to use this to ask you all some questions this evening and have some discussions. So a little bit different format than previous HOA symposiums. So a little bit of background before we kind of get started. As I mentioned, the city's just kicking off this update of the comprehensive plan here this summer, about a year-long process. This phase now is kind of what's called the existing conditions and discovery phase. So the city and our team is putting together some existing conditions, also doing some of these listening sessions. And then this fall, there'll be a open house in October. That date's still to be set. And there'll also be a community-wide survey this fall. So the results of some of the things we're hearing from some of these sessions, the results of the survey will be kind of reported back out later on this fall. And hopefully everyone has a handout about the plan. There's also a website. So as we go through the planning process, there'll be updates on the website. So we'll be asking a few questions tonight. I'll explain a little bit more about kind of the logistics here in a little bit. Just a few things. The city's recording this. Some folks are interested in kind of following along in the process. Council members, Planning and Zoning Commission. So the city is recording this evening. Kind of give you the heads up about that. I know sometimes too at these HOAs, the city kind of provides some information. There's also a chance to ask questions about maybe different projects in the city. So if you have some questions about a road project or a capital improvement project, Doug Forbeck from the city's here. Just maybe we would wait till the end of kind of our kind of facilitation session. If you have questions kind of about the city, we can either stay around as a group or he'll be around afterwards to ask any detailed questions. Some upcoming things I mentioned: the open house in October, and also the community survey. And one of the things tonight too will help us as a planning team put together that survey. I think the best surveys are surveys that are really tailored to a community, really understanding some of the key issues, and then letting that survey kind of dig deeper into some of those issues. So the input we get back tonight from you all will help us and the city customize that survey that'll go out later this fall. So what are we doing tonight? We're going to be asking kind of a series of questions, probably about 3 or 4 questions, and it kind of be a three-step process. I'll ask you all a kind of a fairly open-ended question. Give all of you a couple minutes, kind of compose your thoughts. We kind of gave you some paper as you came in to kind of write down kind of your initial thoughts about each question. So use that paper to kind of compose your thoughts. We do kind of want to collect those at the end. So after you have a chance, about 1 or 2 minutes to compose your thoughts, you'll talk about each question amongst your table. So you'll have some table discussion. Probably about 10 or 15 minutes. Each table has about 7 or 8 people now. So give each person a minute or two to kind of share with the group their answers to that question. And then the third part will be each table will report them back out to the larger group. You're kind of share what you've discussed at your table out to the larger group. So a little bit of heads up. To report back out, you'll need someone from your table to report out for you. So make sure before you get too far along in your discussion, you choose someone, volunteer or short straw, right, to report back out for your group. There's kind of a pad of paper at each table, so whoever's maybe taking notes for your table in terms of reporting back out, if I want to use that pad of paper, probably about 3 or 4 questions this evening. So again, you can kind of maybe rotate in terms of who's reporting out for your table. And then at the end, we'll have maybe kind of a last kind of follow-up item. A few just kind of housekeeping rules. There's no right or wrong answers tonight. We're just trying to get kind of a range of opinions, making sure that as a city, as a planning team, we kind of understand some of the key issues, ideas, concerns in the city. There's no right or wrong answers. Be respectful of everyone's time. Again, there's 7 or 8 of you at each table, so make sure everyone has a chance to talk during each question. As kind of like the facilitator, I may need to move us along. We want to be respectful of your time tonight. Get you out of here in about an hour. I know on a nice 95-degree night, lots of things to do, right? So maybe you do want to stay in the air conditioning, but we want to be respectful of your time. So I may have to kind of move us along. We'll be around afterwards. Doug and myself and Katie, who checked you in, we'll be around afterwards. So if you want to talk to us in more detail, we're happy to stick around. But I may move us along, just make sure we're respectful of everyone's time. Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Questions that you're going to have, are they wrote down, or are you going to say them so that
I will say them, yeah.
Okay.
It's good. And the reason we left them blank is, we do have a set of kind of pre-listed questions, but sometimes, kind of based on what we're hearing, we may call an audible and ask, a different question. So that's why we kind of left those blank. And then I said, and then the results. So the results of tonight, again, we'll start to kind of package everything together as kind of part of the work that we're doing, later this fall. So. Those are kind of the ground rules and the logistics for tonight. Any quick questions before we get started? Is that clear for everyone? Does that sound good? Is everyone ready for your first question? Well, and we start off with a very we'll start off with a very easy one for the group. They'll get a little tougher, especially on the next one. But we'll start off with a very easy one. What do you like best about living in Wentzville? What do you like best about living in Wentzville? So take a minute or two to kind of compose your thoughts about that, and then I'll kind of ask you then to start kind of talking amongst yourselves. So the question is, what do you like best about living in Wentzville? How are the tables? How are you guys doing? Are you guys need some more time? Are you wrapped up? Thumbs up? All the tables wrapped up? Very good. So which table would like to go? Any volunteers in terms of which table? Good. Good. Testing. Get a microphone. Kind of introduce yourself to the rest of the group.
Okay, I'm Doug Grossbeck. My wife and I moved to Wentzville in 2011. We live off of Villa Meadows Lane. It's a 1-block cul-de-sac off Meyer Road. Have a little HOA there. A lot of fun. I'll go through the comments, and they are really good. One said that they like the school district for their young children. The mayor. This fellow's been mayor, I know, since I moved in 2011. He was the only mayor I know. But they talk about how open he is, how responsive he is, even on social media. If you ask him a question, bang, he's got an answer. So, well, folks here think we got a first-class mayor. That's a big deal. It's important. A good one is great. A bad one, all hell can break loose. But we got a good one. close to retail. Everything. If you live in Wentzville, it's 3-4 minutes to wherever you need to go. We got the big box stores now, and more coming, and there's really almost everything you need in Wentzville, and it's real close by. The police, very responsive, very polite. They're working for you. They're right next to you. They feel like friends. A very good response regarding the police by the table. Again, Wentzville has, quote, everything. We're close to having everything that you don't really have to drive 30 miles to get something. Close enough to the city for a ball game or whatever, but you're far enough away from the drama of the city. There's peace here, generally speaking. I feel very safe in Wentzville myself. So you're close enough, you can go, pick your times to go, but you're far enough away from trouble. Straight down 70 to the airport, it's a straight shot. If you're a traveling person, we got one at the table. They travel, 15 days a week. They'll shoot down to the airport and get back home. It's just very convenient for them. Again, close to what I need. And then the last comment was a system called Flock, F-L-O-C-K. And I wasn't aware of it myself, but it's they put them on intersections, cameras. You get a license plate reader, and the comment here was that some over 600 issues have been taken notice of and resolved before maybe any other trouble is caused. Speeding, but that license plate is on the list for trouble somewhere. So, and the police, they say, respond to it very quickly and take care of it. So the table is very happy with Wentzville, and I think I've gone through everything.
Which table would like to go next? Table D would like to go next? Who's our spokesperson? Sharon? Make sure you introduce yourself.
I'm a retired school teacher and school principal, so I have that voice. So our table, what do you love? Hands down, location, convenient to everything. Most of what he said is kind of duplicated. A small town feel with many conveniences. Also the first responders. I also gave kudos to the mayor and the city administrators and how quick they are to pay attention and be transparent. The park systems was brought up, good park systems. Convenience to the highways. We have 3 different highways that we can access simply. You mentioned the school district, safe community, and was there anything else I missed? Yeah, I mentioned that. The police. Kind of going to get redundant here, I think.
Thank you. We'll go to table E.
Repetitiveness here? Absolutely. So, variety of stores and restaurants, parks, ease of movement around the city, if you avoid Wentzville Parkway. Citywide communication, small town, in a small town feel, but we're still in a big town. We still have all the services, great schools, police, the mayor we brought up. I'll tell you, I moved here about 18 months ago, and within the first month had met the mayor, and he's like, "Oh, you picked a great city." He goes, "We've only had 2 break-ins in the past 12 months." And you're like, a city, I moved from downtown Seattle. So you're like, a city that's only had 2 break-ins in the last 12 months. And he said, and both of those were people who knew the people. So it's just a lovely city. So we said all the same things that you guys are saying.
Table C.
But thank you.
I think for the recording. Yeah.
I
Please,
did
yeah.
one. Okay. Stacy, East Hampton Woods. We said everything that all of you had said. I think the biggest difference was we added golf courses. and the government has more concern for the community than for the government itself. So again, going back to the neighbor or mayor. Anything I missed? Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, for our next question, I said we start you with a easy one, more of a fun one, if you will. A little bit tougher question this time. It's a little bit tougher question. So the question is, what are the 3 biggest challenges that you see for Wentzville over the next 20 years? I'll repeat that question again. What do you see are the 3 biggest challenges for Wentzville over the next 20 years? You can kind of share these as bullet points or as a sentence. What do you see as the 3 biggest challenges for Wentzville over the next 20 years? So again, we'll take a minute or two to kind of compose your table B. Are you guys good? Everyone get a chance to share? All right, we'll start with table C this time. Kind of do a reverse orders. So table C.
So I've actually been here for 40 years, and so I've seen the growth of Wentzville for a long time. And so this question, really, I think we stuck on infrastructure, just growing way too fast. School bonds, vacant buildings, widening of Highway N, that's going to be a problem, especially as the new homes, there's over, I think, 1,000 homes or 2,000 homes going in. Senior services, making sure to keep community over political centers, keeping community up front, and police, fire, water, and sewer as part of that infrastructure. Anything I've missed? Any questions?
Table E.
I'm Scott Walsh from East Hampton Woods, and we had a number of issues or challenges I think we're going to be seeing over the next few years. It's growth. It's good. Growth is good and bad. We've got to manage the growth, infrastructure, roads, traffic, safety. We've all seen the impact of something as simple as adding a roundabout to 70 eastbound, and how it backs up all the way to Lowe's these days. That's only going to be multiplied as we go forward. Schools, overcrowding. Schools we're a big topic at this table. We have people here that feel passionate about the fact that our schools, we have too many schools, which seems kind of strange when you think about it, but some of these bigger cities have larger schools with more students. Taxes, as we grow, the taxes are only going to increase. Let's see, what was the other one? Developer accountability. And I think this will be a good one. And everybody's shaking their head. Yeah. I know we, in East Hampton Woods, we took over the Homeowners Association from a management company that had a number of different, Lombardo was on the board, and issues that we had to address. And I think you all shook your heads, like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. But I think that's something that's going to be something we have to address going forward as well.
Thank you. Table D. Oh, good. This is a very efficient table over here.
Well, a lot of it's already been mentioned, but to your point of the schools, when I first started teaching way back when, I was started in the Parkway School District, and they built so many schools so quickly and high schools, and then they had to shut them all down because nobody moved and those buildings were empty. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, really, and you hate to have empty buildings, but I saw it happen in my career. Okay, so we talked about the infrastructure, the traffic, too many apartments. We already talked about that. We were concerned with the development south of Highway 70 off of David Hochul off of South Point Prairie. It's all just open and waiting to be developed, I'm sure. more growth can generate more revenue, but it also is a problem. And then that was pretty much it, I think. The apartments, we don't need any more apartments. Yeah, growth, traffic, apartments, same kind of stuff.
Table B.
Uh, it's interesting. Very similar comments from the other tables as well. First item talked about was Highway 70, and then you could throw in city roads that need to be planned in the future for growth, city services as well. But there needs to be, well, it would be good if forward planning is effective forward planning for all this stuff. And with that, you need good leadership within the city. And, the mayor's not going to be the mayor forever. So as these chairs become open, we have to make sure that we put good people with good intention, with good clear heads in those positions, whether it be the mayor, council members, or city administrators. Those are the folks that put together the plan for the city. Got to have some good heads, and you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it. Organizing growth control of the buildings, you've talked about it, the different residential type buildings, and there was a concern if too many apartments, massive apartment developments start showing up, as it applies to the overall culture of the area and maybe even the public safety. So electing good people to run a city is critical for the city to grow properly. Let's see. I think that's it. Did I miss anything? Okay.
Sure.
The roads, it seems like they're always repairing roads. I don't know who the company is that they use for concrete, but Bear Creek, they're in and out of there, fixing them, patching them, and then they go. This one down here, Windsor Parkway, I don't know, maybe they could find another contract to work on the roads. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic, I know that.
Right.
But still, they should be able to last more than 5 years.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think too, I forgot to mention at the beginning. It kind of reminds me in terms of at the end of your paper, we kind of got a kind of category for other. So if there's some kind of things like that in terms of maybe you want to kind of share or ask questions about that we haven't covered through these questions, please use that kind of other section of your paper to jot down some other things maybe we haven't talked about. So I think we can get through two more questions. This next one will be fairly short. So question 3, if you could change one thing, in Wentzville, what would it be? If you could change one thing, and again, we'll leave this pretty open in terms of it could be a project, it could be a policy, it could be maybe folks that if do we need more families or more opportunities for housing for say new grads, or it could be a wide spectrum of any kind of any topic you want to change. So not only do you get to be mayor for a day, you get to be kind of omnipresent, if you will, in terms of being able to change something. So what's the one thing you would change in Wentzville? What would it be? This is a very good group. You can tell you're good homeowner association leaders, very efficient in your discussions. So we'll start with table E this time. Who from table E is going to report out? Make sure you say your name, Chris.
Curtis Litchwood, Homeshire. What we were talking about was if we had to change things. Couple things. One, it would appear to us or some of us that some of the decisions made in the past were short-term thinking instead of thinking down the road 15, 20, 25 years down the road. We made a lot of short-term decisions to fix the problem that we were dealing with at that point in time. What else did we talk about? Oh, take the old town of Wentzville and try to revitalize it, something like downtown St. Charles, or if you look at, downtown St. Peter, some things they're trying to do is to revitalize the old part, try to bring in, little shops, etc., to try to revitalize that. So, limit high capacity housing. The example was given. There's a new subdivision going down by Wilmer, where they're putting in like twice the many number of homes that it's currently in a neighboring subdivision. The lots will be smaller, and traffic and trying to get some of that, thinking about development in the future, controlling some of it or managing it better than maybe we have in the past. I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
Thank you. I think we'll go with table D this time. We'll start. Have you guys go next.
I felt a little selfish, maybe, but my first thought was more upscale restaurants. And we don't go out to eat all that much, but we have enough chains. And if anybody's a restaurant owner, we probably love your restaurant, but we're thinking a little more upscale, and maybe a department store, a little upscale department store. But then again, a lot of the malls are closing and people are shopping off of Amazon. So then we also had a discussion about the ratio of renters to homeowners. And I know in Bear Creek, we're really focusing on finding out there's people that want to rent have a contract that they are supposed to fill out, bring to the trustees, and have signed and approved. Doesn't always happen, and it's difficult for us to find out who the people are that are living there. So we're working on that. We do have some information through our property management company that we're trying to dig a little deeper. Anything else? Is that about it? Which one's that? Agenda-driven school board members. And I was thinking as we were doing this, if anybody here, I don't know if anybody here has young children in the schools, it would be nice if, I haven't heard anything bad about the schools, and I'm very concerned, but maybe it's the wrong crowd. I don't know.
Get into it. Okay. So I do have kids in school. I have going to be a junior in the high school, and my son graduated from North Point in 2023. Right? Anyway, but and my wife works at the school, so she's very involved and has her finger on the pulse of everything that goes on in that school. She's like she gets all the rumors and all the gossip from the kids and everything. But and so she really pays attention to the school board because she really cares. And there are members of the school board on the Wentzville School Board that are very agenda driven, like they want to do this thing, and then they try to, strong arm the rest of the school board members into doing that thing. And if you guys haven't been paying attention, there was there was a lot of static in that. They wanted to ban books, for example, which is a hot button topic with a lot of people. And it's not something I agree with, but they wanted to do it. And there were other instances of just like they were trying to get their people into different school boards to get their agendas pushed. And I don't believe in that you have an agenda to accomplish a mission. It should be about the kids, and I don't think it was about the kids. I've watched many school board meetings on my wife's phone while or listened to many school board meetings while my wife was listening to it, and I don't know, some of these people, I don't know what their goal is, but it doesn't sound good.
And I'll jump in terms of we kind of need to move on with our table
Okay,
next one.
sorry.
If I could.
It's kind of,
And I apologize too in terms of with 4 tables and 4 questions, I should have been able to get the tables correctly so no one ended up being last twice. But now either table B or C will end up being last twice. So I apologize for that in advance. So table B, I'll let you guys go.
Really, the table was pretty unanimous. It was the concern for the speed of the growth of Wentzville. All right, so if Wentzville is just like, it's a wonderful place, I love it just the way it is, the tendency is to say, I'd just soon not see it get 3 times as big. You know, I like it the way it is, and I understand that. Controlling the speed of growth, I don't even know if it's legal, okay? But that is what the concern at this table was. They like Wentzville the way it is. They're concerned that it may grow too fast in the future. That's really it.
Table C.
So we had a few things. Builder accountability, government accountability. So city approves, obviously. As an example, there's a new subdivision off of Wilmer. Originally, they stated homes would be starting at 400,000, and now they're starting at 280. And so again, who approved that? Because I can promise you homeowners weren't made aware of that who live around that area. Infrastructure, so we aren't set up to have what we have now. So a big concern is Highway 70 entrance with the roundabout, traffic control, Highway N, what's going to happen with Highway N and Wilmer, further down Highway N where there's 1,000+ homes going in. No chickens. Sorry if you all have chickens, but no chickens. Apparently there's a lot of subdivisions with chickens in them. And to the point of revitalizing Old Town, I did add this comment afterwards, is we need to have rent control then. These people are moving out because they can't afford rent from these multi-million-dollar companies who buy these buildings in Wentzville and then charge an outlandish amount of rent. And no renters. Home renters. Getting on 70.
All right, for your last question, and this one, a couple instructions before I read it. I kind of want you to take a little bit more time to kind of prepare a response, because you'll see when I read it, it's a little bit more kind of almost like a short advertisement or a short letter type of response. And then two, when you do your table discussion, you won't have a report out kind of like in terms of summarizing. I want you to kind of pick who you think has the best response from your tables. This is almost like a little bit of a marketing question. So instead of summarizing, you'll be kind of picking from your table who you think has the best response. So this has a little bit longer question, a little bit longer writing assignment, if you will, like almost like a teaching assignment, if you will. Yeah. Looking out 20 years in the future. So let's say it's 2045, and you're writing, to a friend or a family member that's say, and who knows in 20 years what we'll be using to write, whether it's email or whatever, right? So you're writing. You're recommending why they should move to Wentzville. What would you say to convince them to move to Wentzville? So again, it's 20 years in the future. It's 2045. You're writing to a friend or family member, and you're trying to convince them to move to Wentzville. What would you say? All right, who hasn't gone first yet? Have you guys gone first? I don't think table E's gone first. Have you guys gone first? Well, are you guys ready? We'll let you guys go first. Do you guys pick a a message to convince a friend or a family member to move here? Go ahead, Kurt. Table E is going to go.
Okay. Okay, so what we said was, as you know, we've lived in Wentzville for 20 years, and we're writing this letter to a dear friend telling them they need to move. Even though Wentzville continues to grow, the local government has been able to maintain a safe community with great first responders, managing its growth and improving its infrastructure.
That's very good. Table C, we'll let you guys go next.
Hi, I'm Roger, and I live in Green Gables, which is a 55-plus community in Old Town, who is very close to the hospital being built, and the noise and all the other stuff going on, tearing down the trees and this, but I guess that's progress. Huh? Well, anyway, what I have here is that 20 years access to services, access to transportation, infrastructure is well planned and maintained, because you did say it was 20 years out, right? And people care about each other.
Table B.
I think everybody's done an excellent job. We've kind of summarized it into just a abbreviation statement. While the big city has moved out to this part of the state, Wentzville remains a small town atmosphere and a small town way of life. And that's not to say that we haven't grown, but rather than allowing the city culture to come to us, we've let those people adopt our small town way of life.
Thank you. And table D.
So I'm going to put a little twist on it. So when I first decided to move out here in 1997, I was in New York. And the only type of research I could do, internet wasn't around, was have my sister-in-law send me the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and all of those. And I did research on school districts in Wentzville. And I had 2 children that needed to go to high school. So moving forward, since I already saw the growth of 20 years, and we've all kind of like looked at what we want for Wentzville in the next 20 years, I think it still fits true from the last 20 years moving forward, is keeping the small town charm, making sure our school districts are still AAA, making sure our communities are safe and the resources we have, and then build on the senior care for the residents that want to kind of hang out until we're long gone. That's all I have.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for sharing those, and thank you for sharing your responses to all 4 questions. I'm going to give you kind of some instructions. That's kind of ends kind of our questions in terms of the facilitation. I want to kind of give you some instructions as you depart. You'll see on your table there's some blue dots right here. Does everyone kind of see the blue dots on your table? If you could take one and pass them around to your neighbors, everyone should have one sheet of blue dots. So as you leave, you'll see on the 3 questions we asked, the first 3 questions, what do you like best about living in Wentzville? The biggest challenges are right here, and then the 3rd question we asked is over here. If you could change one thing about Wentzville. So as you leave, there's 3 sheets. You have 5 dots, so you can use all 5 of your dots. But mark on the sheets what you think is the most important about each one. So you can use up to, again, some important instructions here, up to maximum of 2 dots per sheet. So you can use 2 sheets with 2 dots and 1 sheet with 1 dot. Does everyone understand that? You gotta hit all three sheets. Thank you. That's some good clarification and instructions. So there should be some space kind of to the left. You can put your dot by there. Does everyone understand kind of what they're doing? Just some closing remarks. Again, really appreciate your time this evening. Some very good input, both hopefully for us and also hopefully for you all in terms of kind of hearing some different areas of the city. We'll use this information not only in the plan itself, but also helping to shape the survey, as I mentioned. Again, really appreciate your time. Make sure you turn in your sheets as you leave to the table up front as you move up. And again, go ahead and vote as you leave. And if you have any questions for ourselves or for Doug, we'll be sticking around. So again, thanks for your time this evening.